when we talk about the properties by virtue of the custom which cannot be transferred. So I was giving an example to that effect. For example, if a particular property by virtue of the custom being all the time handed over to the karta of the family, for example, worshipping the or a temple of the house, then in that case, or idols of the house, then in that case it cannot be partitioned, no other family members can have a claim over the same. Next is, if suppose I have tenanted a property to you, then in that case it would come to an end either on the termination of that particular period or on the demise of one of the party, right? So any other man, single hair or any other person cannot have a claim over that particular property. Third one is, if suppose if you had given a good services to the defense forces, then in that case, by virtue of any particular statute or the government reward you a particular property, and till the time you are there, your legal heirs cannot get that particular property divide. Therefore these are the things. So a species of, for example, even in the even for an example of statute, we could see that suppose a government lease is there which is in your favor, then in that case lease is to be renewed only by you, only with you, and maybe after your demise the lease does here, but they cannot have a partition claim over that particular property. So a species of property, and there are various properties which comprise the properties which by virtue of custom or a tenure or by the government or the statute are descendable to a single heir but are not divisible among the family members. Next is family idol and a place of worship cannot be divided. They may be held by the members in turns or the senior member to take possession of them with a liberty to the member to have an access to them for the purpose of worship. If the idol place of worship are valuable by reason of their endowment or charavaha or respect attaching to their possessor, the members must hold them by turns. So we have seen this example in our first point itself. Next, the period of tenure being proportionate according to their share in the corpus of the property. The period of tenure being proportionate according to their share in the corpus of the property. Corpus of the property means what? The body of the property, the entire property. So to what extent, to what tenure individual would hold that particular property again depend upon what kind of share that particular person is claiming in that particular property, or what kind of share that particular person is entitled to have a claim over that particular property. So by taking into consideration, we could see that the following properties is not liable to partition. Next is, the provision for the following should be made before partition of the property. Once we have decided that we need to partition the property, but before partitioning the property, the following are the things which we have to keep it in mind. So taking into consideration all these things, excluding all these things, excluding the expenses for all these things, whatever the property remains would be subject to partition. Or if suppose we are not excluding these things but special provisions we have to make for all these five things for the purposes of meeting out these necessities, and then only the rest property would be subject to partition. Firstly, the joint family debts, the personal debts of father, that is to say Vyavharika debts, the maintenance of dependent, the marriage expenses of unmarried daughter, and the expenses for the performance of religious ceremonies. So students, these are the five things for which we have to first make the provision, and then only the partition can take place. So provision for the following should be made before the partition of the property. Which are these five things? Firstly, the joint family debts. Second, the personal debts of father, that is to say only the Vyavharik debts. The provision is to be made only in relation to the Vyavharik debts and not a Vyavharik debts. Next is the maintenance of the dependent, the family, the female who are living in the family. Then in later on the marriage expenses of an unmarried daughter, and the expenses for the performance of religious ceremonies, that is to say funeral expenses and everything. So these are the things which must be keep in mind before making a partition of the property. Now how does the partition be affected? Yeah, partition how affected? What is partition we have already seen, and now we are going to see what are the modes of partition. If we take into consideration the modes of partition, student will find there are n number of ways by which we can make a partition, but I have listed a few of them, and which has been recognized under Hindu law. I have only listed those which are recognized under Hindu law. But before going to that, let's have a look over the definition of partition, so that would be very easy for us to understand how the partition by through various modes be effected. Firstly, the partition is a severance of joint status, and as such it is a matter of individual evolution. The severance of a state is effected by an unequivocal declaration on the part of one of the joint holder of his intention to hold its share separately, even though no actual division take place. Because when we say that no actual division take place, means that the people are staying there still as a joint common tenant. Now, if we take into consideration the role of Supreme Court, then in that case, in this particular case, Puttarangam versus MS Ranganna, in this case, the Supreme Court observed that the correct legal proposition is this, that in case of a joint Hindu family, so who is subject to Mitakshara law, according to this particular law, the severance of status is effected by an unequivocal declaration on the part of one of the joint holder to his intention to hold the separate share, to hold his share separately. Then in that case, simply a state of mind of an individual holder thereby is self-sufficient to bring a partition in any kind of a property is. Now let us see what are the modes of partition. The modes of partition are by mere declaration to separate, मुझे अलग होना है. दूसरा by notice, मुझे मेरी प्रॉपर्टी का शेयर चाहिए, मुझे मेरी प्रॉपर्टी अलग कर दो. बाय एग्रीमेंट, हम एग्रीमेंट करके भी अमंग सारे मेंबर्स जो हैं, पार्टनर्स जो हैं, वो एक दूसरे के साथ में अग्रीमेंट करके भी पार्टीशन कर सकते हैं. बाय एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ अ डीड, डीड बना के पार्टीशन किया जा सकता है, जिसे हम पार्टीशन डीड कहते हैं. हम आर्बिट्रेटर को अपॉइंट करके भी अपनी प्रॉपर्टी का पार्टीशन करवा सकते हैं. फादर भी हमारे लिए पार्टीशन क्रिएट कर सकते हैं प्रॉपर्टी का. बाय इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ द सूट, अगर ऐसा नहीं हुआ देन इन दैट केस हम कोर्ट में सूट फाइल करके भी पार्टीशन क्लेम कर सकते हैं. फिर बाय कन्वर्जन, कन्वर्जन जो है यदि हो जाता है, वैसे तो अंडर हिंदू लॉ ऐसा बोला गया है कि अगर कोई पर्सन हिंदू लॉ को छोड़ता है या हिंदू पर्सनल लॉ से अपने आप को गवर्न नहीं होने देना चाहता है, और ऐसे वक्त में यदि वो कन्वर्ट हो जाता है किसी दूसरे रिलीजन में, तो अर्लियर पोजीशन ऐसी थी कि वो फैमिली में किसी तरीके का पार्टीशन क्लेम नहीं करेगा. बट आज प्रेजेंट में सिचुएशन इज चेंज, इवन दो दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन गॉट कन्वर्टेड, but he have to at the time of conversion him to declare that by what provision he is going to complied with, or by what provision he is going to be governed by. Suppose if he declare that he will be going to be governed by Hindu law itself, then in that case ऐसी सिचुएशन में कन्वर्जन जो है उसको उसकी पर्टिकुलर प्रॉपर्टी में से अलग नहीं करेगा. बट सपोज इफ ही इज डिक्लेयरिंग दैट ही टू बी गवर्नड बाय सम अनदर पर्सनल लॉ, then in that case the provision of partition under Hindu law would not be applied to him. Next is by marriage under Special Marriage Act 1954. Suppose if that particular child get married under Special Marriage Act 1954, wherein two different religion obeying people come together and thereby enter into the contract of marriage, then in that case it become very important to know by what provision or the particular partition would be giving a right to this particular person who is entering into a marriage contract under Special Marriage Act. So in the coming lecture, we would be one by one seeing these ingredients, and in that case, we would try to understand the modes of partition and how does it get affected. So students, for today, I would say we have completed the topic, and यहाँ पे one part of the topic is complete. Another part will be dealing tomorrow, and I hope you have understood the concept very well.